views and opinions expressed in this program are not necessarily the views of ECTV News, the City of East Chicago, nor this broadcast station or website. ECTV airs public meetings as a service to the community it serves. Speakers at public meetings, broadcast, or posted by ECTV News are solely responsible for their comments. ECTV News reserves the right to edit or remove any profanity or abusive language or behavior deemed inappropriate for our viewing audience. If you have any comments or suggestions about this program, contact ECTV News at 219-391-82.
Okay, everybody ready? Good afternoon. I'd like to call to order the regular meeting of the Board of Public Works for September 10, 2014. Roll call.
Val Gomez.
Present.
Jezreel Rodriguez.
Present.
Carla Morgan.
Present.
Okay, I'd like to welcome back our esteemed colleague.
Thank you, Val. Glad to be back.
We have no minutes?
We do not.
No? Okay. Okay, any correspondence?
No.
No correspondence. We'll move on to new business. First thing on our agenda is from Sportsfield. It is an agreement to redo the infield. This was sent to us by the mayor's office. Should I read the entire letter or just?
That's kind of a lot to read.
I can read. I'll read the bottom part. What the particulars are. It's to renovate the present infield. Sportsfields Incorporated submits its proposal for your review. It's to cut and remove all lips within the infield and outfield radius. To dump and scrap all turf on site, a location agreed upon. To reshape the mound, install four-way rubber and Durabrick in wear areas. To reshape the batter circle. Install a new home plate and Durabrick in the wear areas of the plate. To grade skin portion of the infield to a subgrade. To add 4 semis of brown screening to the skin portion of the infield spread and grade. To roll infield upon completion. To install 3 Hollywood base anchor plugs at 90 feet. To provide a set of ML6200 bases. To aerate the infield, fertilize, overseed with number 50 pound of our Atlantic blend seed at a cost of $13,765. All work to be scheduled upon your approval and coordinate with your designated Preventive Sports Bureau Incorporated to provide insurance certificates. If you should have any questions. Respectfully submitted for your review, James Walsh. I know this was approved by the mayor's office, but this appears to be only a quote, and we don't really have a contract. So what I'd like to do is make a motion that we approve this on condition that if we require a contract with more terms. Is that acceptable to everyone?
Yeah, I would agree with that, especially since it mentions McCann Sprinklers, Tom Harper doing some related work. So,
would you like to make a motion and kind of make it more legal than my terminology?
All right. I move that we accept the proposal from Sportsfields of Alsip, Illinois, dated June 12, 2014, for $13,765, provided that a detailed contract is provided to this board before any work begins. Yeah, that was the motion.
I second the motion.
Okay, roll call.
Val Gomez.
Yes.
Jezreel Rodriguez. Carla Morgan.
Yes.
Okay. Now we move on to the Home Ownership Incentive Program Report. Do we have anybody from redevelopment here? No one for redevelopment? So make a motion, we accept the report as written.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call?
Val Gomez,
Yes?
Jezreel Rodriguez.
Yes.
Carla Morgan.
Yes.
Okay, on our agenda, we have Resolution 2014-42 Home Ownership Incentive Program. From the Mayor's Office, our financial consultant, Mr. Bennett, wanted us to hold on to this. He had some questions about the amount. So we're going to table this till next meeting. That's Resolution 2014-42. Okay, next we move on to deeds and sale disclosure forms, property transfer to redevelopment. Okay. Okay, we have several quick claim deeds that are transferring property from the Board of Works to redevelopment.
Yes, I
Okay.
believe so.
And I believe we have 6 properties.
Oh, it's 12.
12 properties? I was hoping somebody from redevelopment would be here so we could have a quicker sheet we could read off of. I'll just start off by reading the addresses and descriptions. The first quitclaim deed is for commonly owned address is 517 West 143rd Street in Chicago. The next quitclaim deed is for the address known as 1513 West 149th Street in Chicago, Indiana.
Sorry.
Next one is for 1913 Broadway in Chicago, Indiana. Next is for 3817 Deodore Street in Chicago, Indiana. Next is for 3825 Catalpa Street in Chicago, Indiana. Next, 3818 Deodore Street in Chicago, Indiana. .3820 Deodore Street in Chicago, Indiana. .3711 Elm Street in Chicago, Indiana. .4829 McCook Avenue in Chicago, Indiana. .4838 McCook Avenue in Chicago, Indiana. .4748 McCook Avenue in Chicago, Indiana. .522 Narva Place in Chicago, Indiana. I believe that's all the properties. Did I miss any? Or?
It looks like you got them all. Was this subject of a resolution previously, or this is the first time anybody's seeing this?
I think it's the first.
No, there
believe
was
it's
a
the first time we-
resolution. It was 2014-35.
So this.
It was approved, however, at that time, we did not have sales disclosure forms nor a quick claim deed provided.
So we made a motion to approve it, but we didn't have the claims. Do we have to make another motion then, or if we?
When we've had this happen before, we made a motion that the board president could execute the deeds and the sales disclosure forms, like at your earliest convenience.
Okay. So we don't need an additional motion. We already approved this, or we just need to sign them, or?
And, well, you need to sign it, but it'd be good if we did a motion before the board to authorize you to sign and execute all 12 of these. So there's no question that you were authorized to sign the deeds before you sign them.
Okay. What was the resolution number that we passed before? What was that number? again?
35.
35.
Well, 2014-35.
Okay, then I'd like to make a motion that in accordance with Resolution 2014-35, which we passed before approving the transfer of these properties, that now we also grant the chairman of the Board of Works the authority to sign.
Sign both the deed and the sales disclosure forms for each.
Thank you.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call?
Bel Gomez?
Yes?
Jezreel Rodriguez?
Yes.
Carla Morgan?
Yes.
Okay, next we have an outstanding invoice from Public Works. I can speak on this. This is an invoice that Public Works, somehow it was, the invoice was either missed in 2013. It's from Linco Company. It was for repair of a plow during the snowstorm of last year. And because it was in process in 13, and it was just discovered recently. So in order for us to complete this transaction, we're going to need board action from the Board of Public Works approving the payment of this invoice. And it's for the amount of $1,059.67 from Lenco Equipment Sales in 2168 East 88th Drive, Maryville, Indiana. Are there any questions from?
No.
No questions.
There be no questions, and I'd like to make a motion that we approve payment to Linco Incorporated for a 2013 invoice with Public Works for the amount of $1,059.67.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call?
Bel Gomez?
Yes?
Jezreel Rodriguez?
Yes.
Carla Morgan?
Yes.
Okay, next on the agenda, we have a time brokerage agreement with Vasquez Development.
This is the WJLB agreement.
Oh,
And so the WJLB and Vasquez Development are basically the same entity. The city has had this agreement in place for years, and as I think everybody's aware, department heads and different city officials go talk once a month on WJLB from 8:30 to 8:55 a.m. WJLB's pricing changed. It used to be $150, I believe, per show or per month. Now it's going up to $200 per month. And so it's basically, the same agreement whereby they broadcast it. We provide the person or the information there. And that's kind of basically it. There's a price list on the back, but again, the contract details that we're just doing the 25 minutes once a month. So are there any questions?
this is for a year?
Or it actually, is indefinite, so
Which is-
it will start now and continue until either we cancel it or they cancel it.
Okay, so we don't have to specify a end date then?
We don't have to. The city could if we wanted to, but the previous agreement, we renewed it in 2013. But prior to the agreement like this one, would be. But again, we can cancel it anytime within 30 days. With 30 days notice.
Any other questions or comments?
No.
There being no questions or comments, I'd like to make a motion, we approve the time brokerage agreement for community programming for 2014 and on between Vasquez Development LLC, doing business as radio station WJLB, and the City of East Chicago by its Board of Public Works.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call?
Val Gomez?
Yes?
Jezreel Rodriguez?
Yes.
Carla Morgan?
Yes.
Okay, now we come to change order number 1, 1506 to 08 Broadway, emergency demolition. So, Ms. Weena Guzman, I believe this is for additional work.
Yes. Good evening. Weena Guzman, Building Commissioner. This is relating to 150608 Broadway. It was a commercial structure on August 19th, 2014. The structure partially collapsed. Acton Inc. was awarded the demolition work in the amount of $38,500 to demolish the unsafe structure. And I'll let Dragon Majestic, he's the entity or the contractor that does our inspections, and he'll note what was found there and what needs to be done with the items that were found.
Hello,
Well,
Dragon Majestica with the Harbor Group. I'm the environmental consultant for the city during demolitions. Because that was an emergency job, I had to be there on site because it was unsafe to inspect for asbestos, so I had to be there as they were doing it. IDEM came out, everything was fine, there are no problems with the asbestos, but they found approximately about 175 cans of paint and paint thinner that were in there. They were segregated, they were put on 3 pallets, and because there's no labels on the paint and on most of the cans, some of them said marine paint, so we're assuming that it's an oil-based paint. That's a hazardous material. You can't just take that to a landfill. There's a company, Tredebi, in East Chicago, which is a licensed storage, treatment, and disposal facility for hazardous waste. Their representative came out, looked at it, and said what they're going to do is take all the paint, open them up, combine it together, and have it sampled for PCBs, because it's possible, highly unlikely, but possible that there's PCBs in some of those cans. His cost estimate, if there was no PCBs, about $1,000 to dispose of everything. If there was, it has to be burned, and that's about $5,000. So until that testing is done, there's no way to know if it's there or if it's not. And the most cost-effective way, instead of sampling every single can, is to combine everything and then just take one sample and treat it as such.
so this material right now, it's over at Trebi?
No, the material right now is at Acton,
Okay,
because Tredebi cannot accept it. Acton was a disposal contractor, and for safety concerns, you couldn't leave it on site. Acton has a secure yard, therefore it's stored over there at this point, but it can't stay there indefinitely. It has to be disposed of and documented where it went to.
so it'll be disposed at there then?
At Tredebi, yes, on Kennedy Avenue.
So right now, it says here we received a quote. Do we have a quote, exact quote yet, or we haven't?
It's not to
I see we
exceed-
have not to exceed 5,000, but we don't have
It's
anything.
between 1,000 and 5,000.
1,000, 5,000?
But, if it does exceed 5,000, I mean, my recommendation is to, because we have to get it tested. So if we, so we have to pay, to get it tested, and, like I said, it could be 1,000, or it could be up to 5,000. So I don't know if the board can approve not to exceed 5,000, and if it does come a lot less, I can come back to the board and advise the board. If it's more than 5,000, then I would obviously have to come before the board for approval, I would imagine.
See, the problem is, we don't know what's in
Yeah,
there.
we don't know what's in there. I understand.
It's an unknown.
Can we
And
get
there's- Pardon?
excuse me, can we get that in writing from Tredevi? Here is a
A written proposal from them?
proposal just for record?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
So we could make a motion not to exceed?
We could do a not to exceed, but as Jesse said, I think we'd all be on better ground if we got the written proposal from Tredebi, which is a
think we
good
can-
idea.
Yeah, we can approve it not to exceed. Obviously, we're not going to pay 5,000 if, it will be
Right.
no more than 5,000, so, and I guess,
You want to proceed with a motion, though, or do you want to wait till?
And
I
what
think
are you
we-
comfortable with?
I would think we can proceed. We can accept it, continue to get in writing that proposal from Tredevi, and then I guess the building commissioner will oversee and Dragon will oversee the process, and
Mhm.
maybe can give us a report the next meeting, or
Yes,
hopefully 2 weeks from now we'll have the results, and probably,
yeah, like I said, I don't anticipate it, but you never know. And they being licensed by the federal government as a hazardous waste facility, they have very strict rules they have to follow.
okay.
So,
Okay, so then, I'd like to make a motion, correct me if I'm wrong on this, that we approve this agreement, and it will be with Tredevi?
Tredebi. Well,
Well, actually,
Yes.
it will be from acting, right?
Acton did provide the proposal, but
We have
I can get the proposal changed to Tredebi.
right,
or-
so we're dealing with acting. Tredevi
Requesting
is,
that.
it's a
Subcontractor?
So we need to accept this proposal from acting and continue to get the proposal from,
so the proposal should come from Acton. Tredebi to Acton, to the board? Is that what?
yeah, well, we have a proposal here, but we would like to have the backup.
What we got from,
Okay,
So, they're saying the price based on an estimate from disposal contractor only, so we'd like to have that,
okay.
estimate as well.
Okay, so we do have the Acton proposal, so the motion be for Acton, so long as they provide the additional information from Tredebi? Okay, then like to make a motion. Any other questions or comments?
No.
I'd like to make a motion that we accept from Acton Contracting for the disposal of hazardous material at 1506 Broadway in the amount not to exceed $5,000, with the condition that we receive from them, from Tredebi, an invoice for the cost or
An estimate, that was it?
estimate?
So move. That's,
The problem is they can't give you an estimate until they do the testing to see what's there, what's not.
Well, we want the supporting documentation that Acton used to base this on.
Okay.
Since they have in bold that the price is based on an estimate from the disposal contractor and is subject to change, so we're approving this, but they're basically telling us that we're on shaky ground with it, so we want the supporting documentation.
Okay,
Okay, so we were in the middle of, there was a motion and I was about to give a second, so
I
Did you want
second the motion.
Jesse's.
Well, you did the motion, so I second it. Or, I'm
How do you
confused now.
second? You seconded, right?
Yeah, I second it.
Okay,
Yeah, I made
okay,
the
I'm
motion.
sorry.
Okay, roll call?
Al Gomez?
Yes.
Jezreel Rodriguez?
Yes.
Carla Morgan?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you, Dragon, for being here.
Okay, next on our agenda is recommendations for demolition of vacant properties, Phase 2. I think last meeting, we opened the bids, and Ms. Guzman, you were supposed to review them and give your recommendation?
Yes, Weena Guzman, Building Commissioner again. Just to let you know, these properties were brought before the Board of Public Safety on July 9th, 2014, of which demolition orders have been entered on these 15 properties. Bids were received and opened on August 27th before this board, and I have submitted a bid tabulation summary for the board to review. And at the bottom of the summary sheet is the building department's recommendation on this matter. Did you want me to read them, or did you want to just take a moment to review them? I try to make it as easy as possible.
You know, I made it difficult on myself, 'cause I can't find
Wait,
it.
here.
Okay.
And then I have-
Do we have to enter in the record verbally all our recommendations, or?
Yeah, I think,
We need to read, if you're gonna, I mean, we have the option to go by groups or by property, so. Apparently the group number 1, it was, the recommendation was for just the same company, so we can award that one as a group, and the other ones, I believe there's individual properties.
Yes.
Have to
Do you
work
want me to
on
go ahead and read them?
Yes.
Yes, okay. So the building department's recommendation for group number 1, again, Acton was the lowest and most responsive bidder for a total amount of $74,280. Would you like me to read off the addresses, or just go by groups on that group number 1?
That one is fine, it's
Okay.
just group 1.
Okay, group number 2, that was broken down, award JM 4952 Northcott in the amount of $17,800. Award Acton 4854 Northcott, $5,820. Award Acton 501 West 144th, that's $29,440. Award, let me see, did I read that? Okay, I'm sorry. Award JM 527 145th in the amount of $6,800. Okay, award JM 4903 White Oak, $6,800, and that's for group number 2. Group number 3, award Acton 3924 Butternut, the rear building only, in the amount of $11,785. Award Acton 3929 Deal in the amount of $9,735. That's for group number 3. In group number 4, award Acton 5025 Alexander in the amount of $19,440. Award, award RSR, which I didn't identify, RSR 5030 Alexander in the amount of $26,140. And award JM 5031 Alexander in the amount of $12,800. And that would be for a total $220,840. Just wanted to note, the way we did it this time, where we individually, we selected the lowest bids for each property in each group. The city is saving, the lowest bid for the entire, for the total list of properties was $233,480. So the city will be saving thousands of dollars, a couple $1,000s on that.
Okay. Any questions or comments?
No.
No.
There being no questions or comments, I'd like to make a motion that we accept the recommendations from our Building Department Commissioner, Ms. Guzman, for Phase 2.
Yes.
Phase 2 in the total amount of $220,840, which is broken down with $26,140 for RSR, $150,500 for Acton, and $44,200 for J&M.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call?
Val Gomez?
Yes?
Jezreel Rodriguez?
Yes.
Carla Morgan?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, next we come to change order number 5, Guthrie Street resurfacing project.
I can explain that. This is a final change order. It's a reduction of 84,369 and 22 cents to the contract. And this is change order when you go with addition and subtraction. And so the project is 100% complete in the final change order. So we would like to close this project ASAP. Nothing other than that. Other than that, there's nothing else.
So we have a reduction in with this change order.
Yes.
Okay. Any questions or comments?
Nope.
Okay, what is a good one? Okay, there being no question or comments, I'd like to make a motion. We approve change order number 5, which results in a reduction of $84,369.22. And this is for the Guthrie Street resurfacing project. And this recommendation came from SCH and approved by our engineering department.
Yes.
Okay, that's my motion. Can I have a second?
Second.
Roll call?
Val Gomez?
Yes?
Jezreel Rodriguez?
Yes.
Carla Morgan?
Yes.
Okay, next on our agenda is change order number 1 for the 2014 resurfacing program.
Yeah, this change order is for permit for flaggers that will be needed to work within the right of way. In this program, 2014 resurfacing program, we're gonna resurface Hewish Drive. We didn't know that we need flaggers to do this work because the road, it's part of the road is apparently within the railroad right of way. We need to a permit and flaggers to complete the work, and this change order will cover that. The total amount is $9,400. Basically, it's a one-time payment of $1,000 for the permit, and the flagger will be paid on a daily basis at the cost of $1,200 per day. We're anticipating 7 days of work.
Any other questions or comments?
No.
Now let's make a motion that we approve change order number 1 with Wash and Kelly, the general contractor, for the 2014 resurfacing program in the amount of $9,400 to cover the cost of railroad flaggers and permits.
So that's, oh, go ahead.
So, I'm sorry. So move.
Second.
Roll call?
Val Gomez?
Yes?
Jezreel Rodriguez?
Yes.
Carla Morgan?
Yes.
Okay, brings us to change order number 2 for Private Street.
Well, this change order is an old change order and never was approved by this board because we never received the change order. The work was done. It was a project that we did last year and we finished early this year. It's basically for the installation of topsoil that was not originally in the bid, and the total amount is $1,363.42. In order to close out this project, we need to complete all the change orders and submit a final invoice. And I recently received an invoice. Well, we can't proceed, we can process it if we don't approve this. The work was done, the project was done, everything was done. So I'm asking the board to approve this change order, that even that it's all that, it was done. It has a date of January, but like I said, we never received this from our consultant.
Any other questions or comments on change order number 1?
No, I don't have any.
Change order number 2 on Private Street. There being no other questions or comments, I entertain a motion. We approve the change order for Private Street number 2 with Reef and Riley for the amount of $1,236.45.
So moved.
I believe that it's $1,363.42.
Oh, correction, $1,363.42.
Okay, so moved.
Second.
Roll call?
Val Gomez?
Yes?
Jezreel Rodriguez?
Yes.
Carla Morgan?
Yes.
Okay, next we come to change order number 4, Annex Parking Lot and Fence Replacement Project.
Yeah, this is once again the final change order. It's a credit for $5,083.59. What we did the same thing. We went through all the items. There's some deductions or credit on this project, and this is a final change order. It's a credit, like I said before, so, for items that were not installed on the project. Are there any questions?
Nope. I don't have any. Nope. There be no other questions or comments, and I entertain a motion that we approve change order number 4 for the Annex Parking Lot and Fence Replacement Project, which is a credit totaling $5,083.59.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call?
Val Gomez?
Yes.
Jezreel Rodriguez?
Yes.
Carla Morgan?
Yes.
It brings us to right-of-way applications from the Engineering Department.
Yeah, the first application is the 14-02-252. It's a dumpster, location 4129 Carey Street. The dumpster will be placed on the street. 14-02-253, dumpster, 4942 Narcott Avenue. Dumpster will be placed on the street. 14-02-254, dumpster, 4814 Wick Avenue. Dumpster will be placed on the street. 14-02-255, utility permit at 4321 First Street. Installed approximately 1,700 linear feet of new 12-inch ductile iron water line for St. Catherine Hospital. 14-02-256, heavy load permit. Description, hauling via Dickey Road, Michigan Canal, Riley Road, Indiana Harbor Drive. 14-02-257, heavy load permit. Moved overway load across Dickey Road and over Indiana Harbor Canal via Kennedy, Michigan, Dickey, 129th Street. 14-02-258, heavy load permit, hauling steel material via 129 Dickey, Michigan, Block and S, State Route 912. And the final one, 14-02-259, utility permit, location 129. It's a lane restriction, so IES can paint the south side of BP Transportation Building on the 29th Avenue. That concludes the right-of-way application.
Any questions or comments?
Nope.
There being no question or comments, I entertain a motion that we approve Board of Public Works permit applications 14-02252 through 14-02259.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call?
Val Gomez?
Yes?
Jezreel Rodriguez?
Yes.
Carla Morgan?
Yes.
Okay, if we come to old business, any old business? Nope. Is there any other business? There being no other business, our next regular meeting is Wednesday, September 24th, 2014 at 4:30 PM. That concludes all our business. I entertain a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call?
Val Gomez?
Yes?
Jezreel Rodriguez?
Yes.
Carla Morgan?
Yes.
Shall we?
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to welcome you to the East Chicago Board of Public Safety. We'll begin with our Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call.
Richard Morrisroe?
Present.
Thomas Davis?
Present.
Richard Tremzinski?
We have the minutes from our August 27th meeting. Would someone like to move that they be accepted?
I'll make a motion to accept it.
Second?
Any changes or discussion?
None.
Roll call.
Richard Morrisroe?
Accept.
Thomas Davis?
Accept.
Richard Tremzinski?
Accept.
We'd like to call Chief Inspector Henry Ventura to report for the Fire Department for Chief Emiliano Perez.
Good evening, Board. Chief Inspector Henry Ventura, on behalf of Chief Perez, he apologizes he couldn't make it this evening. The Fire Department would like the Board to accept our reports that's submitted.
Were you part of among the inspections, the Tredebi plant tour?
No, I wasn't. That was Inspector Captain Dennis Fannell, and he's on vacation until Monday.
Were you aware of that plant tour?
Yes, I was.
I guess it'd be nice to occasionally hear about those and have an opportunity to be part of them, even if we can't always commit ourselves to be part. It looked like it'd be something that'd be of interest to us. Just before this meeting began, the Board of Works was considering Tredebi and how they are able to help the city with some paint that was found in a building demolished on Broadway, and how important that company is to us, and be good to, it just occurred to me in reading it.
Right. About a couple months ago, the Fire Department did go through an extensive plant tour where we went through Tredebi 3 different days. We took every firefighter through it. We did an extensive walkthrough, and I could say that Tredebi, it's they were up on their codes. Everything was there, was perfect, was good.
That's good to hear.
Good response from the firemen. There was like a question answer. We brought up a couple of good points for future. They took it back to their supervisors, and they were able to do that. So they're a very good company, and our relations with them has improved. It has gotten better over the years.
For our listeners, Tredebi Industries is on Kennedy Avenue. It was known for a long time as PCI Industries, Pollution Control Industries, and Tredebi is a firm based in Spain, but with a number of U.S. outlets, including, I believe, one in Tennessee, and then the one here in East Chicago.
That is correct.
Any other questions?
How recently had that been, Inspector, that you made this tour?
That was I would say, middle of the summer, going back probably, I would say, June, July sometime. June, July, middle July or so. Yeah, and we did it, what we do is we pick certain industry in the city, and then we take all 3 turns from the fire department, and then we meet with the supervisors, and we do a walkthrough, a question and answer, and then anything that's new regarding the plan, they share it with the fire department.
Very good. No further questions from me.
Oh, I went on enough of them.
Well, we'd like to move the acceptance of the reports from the fire department.
I'll make a motion to accept them.
Second.
Roll call.
Richard Morrisroe,
Accept.
Thomas Davis,
Accept.
Richard Tremzinski.
Accept.
Thank you very much,
Thank
Mr.
you.
Ventura.
Thank you, Board.
One other item is a request for appeal on the part of 2 former employees of the East Chicago Housing Authority, Terry Brooks and Derek Franklin. We would like to consider for that hearing, even though this will be subject to modification, but is approximately a month from today, October 9th, Thursday at 3 p.m. Is that acceptable at this point? We have to go over that quite a bit, both with our counsel and with the city attorney, Ms. Morgan, who was here and whom we had a chance to briefly chat with on her way after the Board of Works meeting.
It's okay with me.
It's fine with me.
Mr. Boswell, do you have anything to add about?
Nothing. We'll provide notice to those former employees and to the Housing Authority.
And one of them has an attorney, and can I leave it to you to do that with our secretary? And if there's anything for me to sign or any discussion, please let me know.
Certainly. We'll get those hearing notices out.
And I think we can simply do that by agreement.
Sure.
There's no need for motion. Is there anything else, Madam Secretary, other than set our next meeting for Wednesday, September 24th?
No, President, there is not.
Entertain a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion.
Second.
Roll call.
Richard Morrisroe,
Adjourn.
Thomas Davis,
Adjourn.
Richard Tremzinski.
Adjourn.